What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Redriveraviation. Hope you're on a fantastic day today. And today we have the November 2024 Albuquerque Sunport International Airport update for you all. I really hope each and every one of you are excited for this. And today we're going to be checking out what's going on here at Albuquerque as we continue to close in on the end of the year. So should be a really great update today. I hope all of you are excited for it. With that being said, let's not waste any further time and go ahead and get started. Pushing back, we have this American Eagle ERJ-175. This aircraft's going to be operating for SkyWest today, not to Los Angeles International Airport, which is seeing, I think it's 2 daily services for American right now. So definitely productive and awesome to see them doing what they do best. There's absolutely no doubt about that. Delta Airlines has a nice assortment of aircraft in here for us this month, and they're all accurate this time, which is pretty cool. Beginning here with their Boeing 737-900ER coming in from Atlanta Hartsfield Jackson, one of 3 daily services. So once again, a staple here for Delta, and they've done really well on that service. So I'm eager to see if the 321 is going to come back. It was a 321 for a very long time, but they've really been rocking that 737-900 lately. So that will be an interesting one to follow going into December and beyond. Our next aircraft is going to be the Delta Airlines Airbus A320 coming in from Minneapolis, St. Paul. This does continue into November, which is absolutely awesome. I was kind of joking about this, saying that was a 320 last year, but this wasn't even operated in November of 23. So this is really great to see Delta's continued commitment. I also want to really get a shot with both the Indy Airbuses here. It's quite a nice frame. So yeah, really impressed with their efforts there on that service to Minneapolis. That's been a really high-performing route, it would appear, and I think they've done really good. So overall, that's really nice, and definitely really glad to see that right there. And our next aircraft is going to be this Delta Airlines Airbus A319. This aircraft is coming in from Salt Lake City, 319 this month on the main line. It's 3 daily, so no substantial changes there besides that we're back to the 319. So eager to see where this route's going to go, and I think it'll be relatively productive moving forward. So no doubt a very exciting movement right there. Now, I left the ground service equipment at this gauge because I wanted to highlight that JetBlue is once again gone. I was just bragging in the last update about how awesome they've been and their consistency lately, but just like that, they are once again gone. So there's no JetBlue flight here today. Hopefully they'll be back soon. I would say they might do some flights during Christmas, but I also wouldn't be surprised if we go all the way till February or March till they return next. So they're pretty inconsistent here. There's no doubt about it. So that's why that's all there. But yeah, hopefully they'll be back here in the near future. Here's the Alaska 737 MAX 9 coming in from Seattle, Tacoma. Great to see the MAX 9 on this right now. That's quite awesome. So I think we still have the 2 daily main lines. So awesome to file in some passengers when the Pacific Northwest area starts to get a little too cloudy for them. So yeah, Albuquerque is a great little getaway for the weekend or business or any other reason. So yeah, really great link right here for us. And this will definitely continue to be a powerful asset here at the airport. So again, this Boeing 737 MAX 9 will be heading out to Seattle, Tacoma today. And then, yeah, I was just bragging on Chicago as well. I did say, though, that I would expect some changes for November. So that Chicago flight that was double daily 737s bounced down the double day, or I think it's just a once daily 175 for November. So definitely losing some substantial capacity here, which was not completely surprising. I mean, maybe just a little bit. I thought they would probably go for 1 737 rather than just dropping from 2 738s down to just 1 175. But that's what we're doing here. So here it is on the ERJ-175. And this aircraft will be making a service today, heading out to none other than Chicago O'Hare. So this is going to be a really nice service for us. I was just talking about that in the last update. It's just crazy to think about, you know, the foreshadowing there of saying, yeah, it's been a 175, but now we're back to 737 on. And then it's right back to the 175. So the harsh reality, but yeah, it's interesting to kind of note some of these mid-sized operations from hubs like Chicago. We always know that cities like Dallas will be prominent and so on, but you know, this service particularly, you know, and I think about the Tulsa to Chicago flight, that's going to remain 3 daily 175s, which is not what it's been in a long time. It used to be just 2 or 1 daily flights. So it's kind of surprising to see Albuquerque just have a major fall off there. United also did decrease frequencies too, and we'll talk about it here in a moment. But anyway, there's no doubt to the fascination of that and overall quite the concept right there. So we'll continue to evaluate. So yeah, Chicago 1 day with 175. The main line I'm sure will be back in the future, but yeah, it's safe to say that the travel demand lessened up just a little bit to go from 2 737s to the once daily 175. So December will be very interesting for that route. Stay tuned for more, but yeah, not too surprising. It's not the end of the world, just kind of the reality. Phoenix Sky Harbor does remain on quite a few mainline flights. The Airbus A319 is going to be rocking it for us today. yeah, really awesome to get this aircraft continuing to go strong in that Sky Harbor service. Definitely is taking in a few more passengers considering their weather and also their hub and spoke model. So looking quite nice, and overall is looking really great. That's also not to say that O'Hare is not a hub and spoke model, but kind of prioritizing the one that has a little bit more leisure demand during this time of year, being that service to Phoenix. But we do know that Dallas-Fort Worth is always going to be going strong. Here is the 737-800 that will be operating that today. Several daily flights. That is the hub and spoke at its finest, and overall it's looking quite nice. So American 737 heading out to Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport. What has remained surprisingly consistent, though, has been that 737 MAX 8 for United to Houston George Bush. So here it is once again. Yeah, they've not backed off the MAX 8 at all on this route. It's been pretty consistent, arriving at 10 o'clock, which has been awesome. So really cool to see this. Tulsa just lost their main line. I'm pre-recording in advance, so that'll be back in December. So they've been bouncing around at that station, for example. But as for Albuquerque, the main line continues on all the destinations, which is definitely superior to what it was pre-pandemic. So glad United's found the consistency here at Albuquerque, and I hope they continue to do so. But the 737 MAX 8 will be heading over to Houston George Bush on that morning flight / evening flight, whatever you would like to call it, depending on which cycle it is. And here we have the 737-900ER heading out to Denver today, which has also remained pretty consistent there with all the mainline and a couple of regional jets. So awesome to see. I think it's 5 dailies, so this is definitely the most popular hub here at the airport for United and the service that you'll see the most. So looking quite awesome there, and love that old livery. Glad to get it in here because obviously we can't get it in every single time. So that's looking really nice, excuse me, and definitely a very awesome showing for it right there. Here's the Spirit Airbus A320. This aircraft's pushed back, heading over to Las Vegas, so they're moving off the cones right now. Really great flight right here. I think that this one's been very productive for them, especially since terminations from Allegiant, and I want to say Frontier had this one as well way back a couple years ago. So cool to see Spirit doing really well in it, and as always, excited to see what their traction is going to look like here in the near future. Southwest remains pretty consistent here with their offerings. We have the 737-700 coming in from Orlando International. This last month it was Saturday and Sundays. This month it's just Saturdays, so they've remained pretty consistent on it, which is great. This aircraft's coming in from Orlando and now it's heading out to Denver, so safe to say we are going coast to coast on that one almost. And here is the 737-700 by NG in the Heart livery. This aircraft's coming in from Kansas City, and now it's going to be making a flight today out to Burbank. So it's been really cool to see Burbank, particularly. Long Beach, not as surprising, but Burbank's pretty cool. Although I did see that they're going to cut Colorado Springs to, let's see, Long Beach it was, which was a little surprising. I thought that route was going to perform pretty well. So yeah, pretty interesting right there, and considering how well they've done at Colorado Springs, but that's where you got to continue to take notes and see what happens. Next, we have this 737-700. This aircraft's coming in today from San Jose, California, and now it's going to be heading over to Oakland. So yeah, I'm pretty impressed that they have service to Oakland and San Jose, considering that they're pretty close to each other, but obviously much different purposes for both airports, and obviously the connections as well definitely have a factor. Although I'm assuming that's probably more point to point on those two, because obviously there's no Southwest service to San Francisco, so you got that, and then they do have connecting opportunities, but most of them, you know, you'd connect probably through Phoenix, Las Vegas, or Denver for most of those. So excuse me, sorry about that. But anyway, yeah, quite the services right there, but definitely really cool to see that. Absolutely no doubt about it. This aircraft's heading out to Las Vegas, Southwest 737-800, so operating one of 3 daily, I would assume, somewhere in there, 2 or 3 daily. So coming in from there, now it's going to be making a flight today, heading over to San Diego, which has been another really good one. So daily service on that one, and Southwest has done really well in those markets. So awesome to see that, and excited to see where the progression will go and if we'll have any new routes or any changes. Lastly, we got a special livery in here today. We love it. This is Arizona 1 on the 737-700. I'm assuming this is going to get pretty much to the paint shop here pretty quick, and will be retired, or they'll obviously repaint on an 800. So want to use this as many times as I can without overusing it. So this aircraft's coming in from San Antonio, and now it's going to be making a flight today out to Austin Bertram. So safe to say that Southwest has quite the variety of routes, and I've enjoyed using all of them. So really cool to see this, and overall looking very nice for those aircraft. Let's go ahead and bounce over to the PC-12 for Advanced Air, heading out to Silver City, which has been a very nice, consistent service. So I've enjoyed featuring it here, and really excited to feature it even more going into the future. So looking very nice on that one right there. And then here we have this United 737-700. This aircraft's going to be heading out to Chicago O'Hare today, which is just a once daily flight. So we are seeing the 737-700 and the A319 on that one. And that was 2 daily flights last month. However, I think one of them was a regional. So yeah, pretty smart here with the capacity, considering, like I said earlier, the structure of Chicago, and during this time of the year, not quite as much to do. So yeah, overall looking really nice for that aircraft, and I definitely think that it's a highlight to feature the mainline on that, considering that's predominantly been regional jets over the last several years. So looking very good, and overall, very nice to see that right there. Let's go ahead and jump into the Delta ERJ-175. This aircraft's taxiing out for departure, heading on over to the great city of, what's the city I'm thinking of? Los Angeles International, which has proved to be another very productive service there. So awesome to see that one. Overall, glad to see it on the 3 daily flights. We have a Cessna 172 on the right doing a local flight around the area, and a Cessna, this is a Challenger 350, and he's going to be coming in from Teterboro, and now it's going to be making a flight today out to Missoula, Montana. So very cool. I wish there was more air service to Montana out of these smaller mid-sized airports. It would be cool to feature that. Hopefully in the future we'll see some point-to-points added on that, because I just think Montana's a really cool state, but obviously only during some parts of the year where it's warm enough to go. But I lucked out on a trip earlier this year in April that actually ended up being really nice. Macro mode is loving the camera today, so apologies that we just cannot get this camera to function the way we want it to. So I'm just going to go ahead and hold it up. So here's the Primera 737-800 freighter coming in from Cincinnati, and now it's going to be heading out to San Bernardino. So quite a cool service right there. There's no doubt about that one. Really glad to have the GSC in there as well. Here's the UPS 757-200 freighter coming in from El Paso. Now it's going to be making a flight today. Am I missing any major flights on them? I think they've had Denver in the past, so I'm not sure if they're currently operating it. I'll be sure to look going forward. But anyway, we'll just say he's going to Denver for some variety today. Here's a UPS 767-300 freighter heading out to Louisville on its turnaround. We know how consistent that's been. I'm not even on the ground and it still wants to go macro mode. Quite the deal. But I thought there was enough light in here, but I guess not. So that's currently what he's up to, so looking very nice. And we got a FedEx Express 767-300 freighter, and this aircraft's currently getting ready to make its way over to Memphis today on the turnaround. So looking very nice and productive with all the cargo offerings here at the airport. Here's a Gulfstream G550. This aircraft's currently taxiing out for departure today. He's going to be making a service out to Houston George Bush, and came in earlier after a flight from Montgomery Field in San Diego. Here's a Southwest 737-700. This aircraft's currently going to be making a flight today heading out to Las Vegas. We already used Vegas. Dallas Field, after arriving in earlier today from a flight in from Houston Hobby. Next, we have this Alaska ERJ-175 for Horizon. This hopefully will be the last update before I have some of the special liveries to work with, like the Washington State ones. I've just been waiting because Gemini just kept releasing the Alaska plane every single month. It kind of felt like that I wanted to get this particular case, the Max 8. So I've been patiently waiting because I want to combine my shipping costs and save on that as much as I can for the company store order. So I'm currently waiting for those. And once that Max 8 gets in, then I'll make a large order, and that'll be a fun place to put it in some sort of unboxing. Anyway, expect those coming up though. They maybe have already been unboxed. I'm not sure, but they are coming. I promise. I know that you're probably wondering if I'm getting any, not all of those. I am getting the 175s. Anyway, this aircraft's coming in today from Portland and is going to be heading back out there. So excited for the variety going into 2025 on the liveries. And I'll be sure to get the Honoring Those Who Serve and Horizon Retro in a little bit more. Horizon was in last month, so that was a good variety. And lastly, coming in from San Francisco on the 737-800 on one of the 2 daily mainline flights, we have a United 737-800. So yeah, super impressive. One of them's a 738, so there's no doubt that the capacity is going super strong on that service. And I'm really excited to see where it's going to go from here. So very impressed with that. So here's the 737-800 coming in from SFO, 2 daily mainline. There's no doubt that that's been very productive for them going forward. So I really hope all of you enjoyed this Albuquerque update. This airport's been super fun to follow, and as you can tell, there's so many mainline planes. I think we just have a couple of regionals at the concourse here, just 2. So it's safe to say there's a bunch of capacity. So between that and just the Delta LAX and the Alaska Portland flights, the rest of it has mainline at some point during the day. Obviously, quite a few regionals from United and a handful from American throughout the day. Delta just has the couple there from Salt Lake. Otherwise, you're mainly seeing mainline planes, especially from carriers like Spirit, Southwest, and what was the other one? JetBlue. When they're here, they definitely have quite the presence. So yeah, I really hope all of you enjoyed this. Quite a fun update, and I'm looking forward to finishing up the year strong with our flights, our update for December, and then obviously that'll work us into January and beyond. With that being said, that'll do it for today's video, everybody. Thank you all so much for watching. I want to thank each and one of you for watching. My name is Redriveraviation. Thank you, everybody. Stay safe, trust the process. Do you love and love what you do? My name is Redriveraviation. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all soon as Redriveraviation is signing off.